Thank you for joining the Financial Brokerage webinar today on Secrets of the Pros, Volume 2 with Bruce Dickus, Vice President, Chief Marketing Officer of Financial Brokerage. The session is about to begin. We will be accepting questions at the end of the webinar. All questions must be typed. This can be done at the bottom of the control panel on your screen. On behalf of Financial Brokerage, I'd like to welcome all the webinar participants today. I'm Justin Reeves, Sales Manager in Life Department at Financial Brokerage, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Financial Brokerage is the home for the independent producer, providing fixed annuity, life, long-term care, and disability insurance for agents nationwide. Today's webinar topic, Secrets of the Pros, Volume 2. Bruce Dickus is Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer at Financial Brokerage. He's worked in the financial services industry for over 30 years. He's been a producer, agency manager, Director of Training and Advanced Sales, and Regional and National Sales Officer. He knows what it takes to build a successful financial services business. He knows how to help producers grow their business. Bruce is a highly sought-after speaker and coach on markets and agent practice improvement topics, as well as financial products. His informative articles have appeared in Life Insurance Selling, National Underwriter, Senior Market Advisor, GAMA News Journal, and in Accord. Welcome, Bruce.
Good morning, everyone. This is an exciting time to be in the business. I want to preface our entire web conference this morning with the thought of I've spent a lifetime, at least a career, dealing with top-level producers, MDRT qualifiers, club-level, trip-earning type producers who seem to have it all figured out. And perhaps that's true, but there's a common theme in what they've told me over the years, and there's several points to that theme. One is they have decided, and maybe it's over time, but they decide on purpose the things that they want to accomplish and how they want to accomplish them, and they commit to building that, developing that, and they make a strong commitment to executing and delivering on that promise to themselves as well as to their clients. And the second thing is that they commit to levels of action that they refuse to compromise on. And they swear that makes a difference. And I would have to agree with them. So let's get started. Today we'd like to find some ways, and we're going to talk about 20 different actions that top producers have said, and have said more than once, make a difference. It's kind of a buffet. You can pick and choose the ones that most interest you. But top producers tell us that they settle on those things that they want to do, they commit to them, and they build their business around them. With the idea of increasing sales, improving their bottom line, your bottom line in this case, to be more effective and efficient in how they deal with their clientele, find ways to gain instant credibility, build that ongoing trust, and be the trusted advisor, maintain client loyalty. Don't just beat the competition, be the competition, and when you get on top, stay on top. So let's get started. One of the things that top MDRT type guys and gals tell us is that we have to speak the client's language, and the flip side of that is quit speaking our own language. It's really all about the client. So clue number one on how to do that is to really, really listen. Ask the right kinds of questions, learn how to be quiet, and let them talk. They'll tell you what's important. They'll put it in their own words. A smart producer will be able to play that back to them in ways that is motivating to them so that they can choose your solution, which is the right thing, and take action today. Our jargon, our inside baseball industry terminology isn't of much use to them without a whole lot of explanation. It's not really about what the products or the features of the products say. It's about what they do, and the things that they do are how they deliver what's important to the client. Use their expressions for emphasis. learn what's important to them, describe product features in terms that link back to the things that they said were important. And to do that, we have to obviously do strong fact-finding, learn what's on their mind, not just the facts, but their feelings as well. And we have to stay away from our insurance and industry. One person said, stay away from the mumbo-jumbo. Tell me really what this is going to do for me. A second thing that top producers tell us is we've got to get smarter, we got to get better. One way to do that and to earn instant credibility is by pursuing industry designations, things like CLU and CHFC and CFB and LUTCF and the CASTLE designations and any others. And failing that, any kind of educational effort that's done for the purpose of getting smarter, getting better, not just CE credit because I need it, but because I want to know something. If we get smarter, clients know it. It builds credibility. They will trust us more. If we're tuned in to the markets, to them in their market, to how taxes affect them, how products can help solve for the solutions that we have to offer, we will be more successful. It is a natural. And it looks good on a business card too. And it helps with referrals and cross-sales and just everything else that we're trying to accomplish. So if you haven't adopted an on-purpose, I want to get smarter, I want to get better educational effort, you ought to do that. You ought to start doing that today. You're never too old. It's never too late. And industry designations are a big part of that. And again, that builds instant credibility. Here's one that every top producer has said. They said, I had a mentor. I had more than one mentor. Top level agents all did it. Many of them still do it. It helps us acquire in a hurry skills and habits that top people already know how to do. People at the next level or the next level up from that, that would take a lifetime of trial and error. And we may never arrive at it. So it could be another producer, it could be a manager, it could be a peer, it could be lots of different people. And they don't necessarily appear magically. The smart producers are the ones that say, I ought to get one of these or more than one of these. They may not last a lifetime or for an entire career, but people who have had others who have helped them speak highly of them forever. So seek out a mentor, and it might be that it's more than one person for different subjects, other things that may be needed. And lastly, the top producers say, yes, I had a mentor or more than one. And by the way, I am a mentor today. So it helps to be proactive about it. It helps to be a student of our business. And that's a fine, fine way to do that. Top producers also tell us that it's not just what prospects say. It's maybe how they say it. It's how they move. It's how they look. It's all those nonverbal cues and clues that help us understand who our clients and our prospects are and what they want. So we have to pay attention to body language because that will tell us so much. I read a book. It's called The Definitive Book of Body Language by Alan Pease. I should have it on the screen, but I don't. I apologize. It's Alan Pease. P is in Paul, E-A-S-E. You ought to get that book or another. You ought to attend a class if there's one in your local area. But you ought to learn about body language, how people sit, how their facial expressions, how they hold their arms, how they lean in, how they react to the things that they say and that you say and that they hear will tell us a whole lot. If we can understand them by use of nonverbal clues and cues, we'll be much farther ahead in attracting a new client and maintaining that client over a long period of time. If we have a client, the best thing we can do is try to figure out ways to use that client's needs to help solve for their problems and do it in an on-purpose sort of way again. We have to know what's important to them. And we have to help them identify and measure what this various levels of needs are. And to do that, we have to probably do a multi-type analysis of their needs and make sure they know that part of your process for working with your clients is to stay in touch and revisit those needs, and then make sure that you do it. Do stay in touch. Do get back to those needs. Rerun the needs analysis. We can save a whole bunch of solutions for later meetings. It would be somebody that we can see next month and next year and each year thereafter. And if we really live up to what we said we were going to do, they'll stick with us. They'll refer us to others. They'll buy again. They say that most people, on average, buy life insurance 7 times in a lifetime. A lot of times it's from 6 or 7 different agents. If we get with them, stick with them, they'll buy from us. So keep track of what those needs are. Stay in touch. Use a formalized needs analysis type program. Remind them of those needs and do all of this on purpose, and we'll be miles ahead. Top producers say dress the part. Dress for success. Dress to meet your own objectives. Dress to generate a positive reaction from the clients and the markets that you're trying to work in, and that'll help build trust. So what does that mean? Does that there's a coat and a tie, maybe there's a tie, there's at least a suit coat on screen, and does that mean we wear a suit or we dress up always? For certain markets, that's probably not true. You may know that market pretty well. Pay attention to that. I used to work in the farm market. They weren't particularly interested in the guy with the nice suit from the city. They were interested in the guy that parked at the end of their field and had a Coke for them to drink as they made the turn, on a hot summer day. And he probably had an open collared shirt, probably Dockers or something like that. Fit the market a lot better. We want to elicit trust in the marketplace. So we want to dress to the image that we want to portray in the market that we're working. We don't want to be somebody other than who we are, but again, we need to dress the part. Here's one that a lot of us shy away from, and that's practice. And this goes back to that on-purpose idea. If we know what we want to say and do at each step in our process, and we're interested in honing our craft, we probably ought to practice and not just leave it to those points in time when we're in front of a prospect or a client. It gives us a competitive advantage over all the others. If we're making it up every time when we walk into a home or into someone's office, we're behind the curve. We have to be thinking about what we're going to say next and do next. If we already know that and have internalized it and professionalized it already, it allows us to pay much closer attention to the prospect or to the client and their reactions and their questions, and dig deeper to find out what their feelings are and pay attention to their body language. It eliminates all the surprises that can come up. And if we practice and drill, even in front of a mirror or in front of someone whose opinion we trust, our game will just be that much better. We'll raise our game, and we'll be much more effective at it. So this might feel like, the basics or 101 of being an agent 15 years ago for some of us. But the top guys say, I do this at least once a week. So I would have to agree with them. Here's one that a lot of times falls through the cracks. Family time. Joe Gandolfo was a top-level agent, wrote books and made CDs and various tapes and movies and so on, telling how he was successful. And he said, I just pay attention to the business. I don't pay attention to mowing the yard or, taking care of the house. And my wife, gets the kids to school, and, I'm out of the house early. Poor Joe was successful in the business, but of course his wife left him, and it didn't work out on the family side as well as he might have liked. MDRT has a whole program built around family time because they realize that this is one of the important foundational blocks to building any business, especially a sales business. So what they say is block the time and make it times that repeat every week that you have blocked out just for that purpose, and you won't violate it. You won't reschedule it. It is your family time. You want to include all your blue chip activities as well, and blue chips are those high important kinds of things, but family time is one of those. So if there's a date night, with your spouse or your significant other, or there are school activities, the play, there's Cub Scouts, there's Girl Scouts, there's Little League. You want to make sure that you're part of those things. You want to just have fun too. Those will be, you don't get that time back. Kids are only kids for a little while. And you will have a successful business, and probably a more successful business if we pay attention to those things. It's hard to get a client. It's smart to keep a client. And there are steps we can take to make sure that that happens. And one of those, which is sort of a continuous kind of thing, is how do we get in touch and stay in touch with these people so that our client acquisition process has a follow-on retention process. So staying in touch includes all those actions to keep in contact with clients. Mailings and emails and newsletters and phone contacts and luncheons and annual reviews. And if we do, again, take an on-purpose approach to this, we'll be miles ahead. Richard Wileman, kind of the guru of wave contact marketing, says an existing client is probably worth, he says, 3 to 4 times as much as any new, even good referral prospect. We know who they are. They know who we are. They already trusted us once, at least once. They'll trust us again. And by the way, the staying in touch, if we've promised to do it, even if we haven't, is the right thing to do. Clients depend on us. Most people will want to buy again. Most people say they don't get asked, and the person who wrote the business the first time somehow disappears, and we don't see them often enough, or maybe not at all again. So this ought to be part of an ongoing process, and the benefits are big. There are follow-on sales, there are cross sales, there are referrals. Persistency is better, placement is better, the clients are more loyal. They think about us at times when we're not touching them and they're mentioning our name. The word of mouth is terrific when we're that trusted advisor. So I would recommend this to everyone. We've hinted at this a couple times, and this says remember WIIFM, which is WIIFM, or what's in it for me, and the me is the client me. And we have to make sure that we think in terms of how any solution that we talk about will fit their objectives, how it fits them logically and financially and in dollars and cents, but also emotionally, and fits them in ways that gives them that warm feeling. So we want to present solutions in ways that make sense to them at every level. And to do that, we have to know what it is that does make sense to them. We want to make sure that they buy products for the right reasons. And if they do that, we know they'll persist. And if we have clients who have bought for their own reasons, which are the right reasons, which we've helped them understand that the solution does just that, they're going to buy again. So the products that we sell persist. The products that we sell, and to the clients that we sell them to, they're going to buy again. So if we don't logically or naturally think in terms of what's in it for our clients, we're probably going to miss a trick. Here's one that came to me here just recently. It's use a last letter strategy. I find this pretty powerful. The way it was related to me was that we would ask clients to prepare a last letter to their family or other survivors. And it's kind of instructions. It may accompany a will, or it might tell them where various policies are located, and just kind of the instructional kinds of things. But taking it to the next level, it's the heartfelt wishes that person has for the people that are left behind. And if I'm a smart agent, I would develop examples to show to my clients to say, this is something that my clients have found powerful and helpful and valuable. I would suggest that you do this for your family and put it with your other important papers and have them open that when you're no longer there. Because we don't sell life insurance because somebody's going to die. We sell life insurance because others are going to continue living. And we want them to think of us as this valuable commodity, this valued and trusted advisor. And if they do, and if this helps them do that, our business will be stronger. We will be doing the right thing for more people. The word of mouth, again, will be terrific and outstanding. How about this one? Physician, heal thyself. A producer, an agent, will have better results with their clients if they've solved their own needs in the same way that they will solve their clients' needs. If they own the products that they're suggesting. Agents who have taken steps on the various products that they present, long-term care, DI, critical illness, life insurance, annuities, you name it, med subs and so on, will have much better results if they've taken action on those same products. So if we want better results on that annuity we're trying to sell, we should have looked at it ourselves or one like it and purchased it. The prospects will know. We can tell them what we've done. We can show them the actual policy. Same thing for life insurance. Same thing for disability. Same thing for any one of the other products. So if you're selling the products and you think they're important, make sure that you have put them into your own program. I wrote an article on study groups that was published in one of the magazines. I found it to be terrific. I started my own study group because the insurance business for a producer who's not in a career or captive agency can be pretty lonely. And producers crave the assistance of, the camaraderie with other producers who are in the same kind of situation, somebody to bounce ideas off of, somebody to share problems with, someone to ask questions about issues that are confronting them, look for opportunities. So this article, which is available on our website under Sales Edge, so if you haven't been to our website and looked at training Sales Edge, there's an article on study groups. You can identify 6 to 10 other producers. They don't even have to be in the same city if you're worried about that kind of thing, or you don't know that many. You can meet regularly 3 or 4 times a year. You decide. It doesn't have to just be in person. It can be a teleconference, a web conference. Have a series of regular agenda items. Tackle real-life issues and help solve problems for each other. Swear each other to strict confidentiality, but I would tell everyone, and this is what some others have told me, that once they joined a study group, their production went up dramatically. It's like they had a board of directors giving them advice, and they could pick up the phone and talk to one or more of them any old time they liked, and they would meet regularly, and it would help solve problems, go after opportunities, get around issues, get questions answered, and just have somebody to bounce stuff off of. If you haven't been in or haven't considered a study group, I would suggest you do that. Too many of us provide products and talk about products in product terms as opposed to in solution terms. We want to match those solutions, what the products do, not what they say, to the needs of our prospects. not just how they work, but again, what they deliver. It requires us to do full-fledged, on-purpose fact-finding, formalized needs analysis. But if we do it, it's guaranteed to boost closing ratios. It's guaranteed to generate bigger cases. It's guaranteed to improve placement, strengthen persistency of business, generate repeat sales, and give us more referrals than we shake stick at. So if you're pushing a particular product, that's nothing wrong with that as long as it solves for the problems of our clientele. This says don't forget physical exercise. This is really, don't neglect taking care of yourself. It's easy to neglect our own well-being and physical well-being, everything from diet to exercise and everything else in between, because we get busy. We're trying to keep appointments. We're trying to prospect. We're trying to make sales. We're trying to troubleshoot problems. We're trying to, make ends meet. We're trying to do all of these things, and there's only so many hours in a day and a week. But again, this kind of goes back to that family time thing where we block time to make sure that, if we belong to a gym, we make sure we go, and it's going to be every morning at 6:30, or it's going to be 3 days a week, and it's going to be at this time, and make a commitment to that and live up to it. We have to make sure that our diet is, going to be healthy for us, because if we do all of those things, this is a stressful business. This will help us reduce some of that stress. And we know that people who are in good shape and eating well are happier. It boosts our energy. It helps us live longer. We can actually be more effective in our jobs and in our sales presentations if we do this, again, in an on-purpose sort of way. We've kind of hinted at this throughout. Use a needs analysis, or use more than one, depending on who you're talking to. We can do it on a yellow pad. It's more complete. It's more consistent if we use an actual tool. There is an individual or family needs analysis on the FB website in the OneSource area. If you need some additional help with needs analysis, give your sales manager here a call. We can help. But it'll help us identify and get a better handle on the nature of the client's needs, because there's a variety of needs, and the size of the need. If you're not doing that, you're pretty good at what you do. It may not generate all the credibility that you would like if we're doing it on a yellow pad. It won't be as consistent from client to client. It may not pass E&O muster if you have a complaint. So it helps build urgency to solve the problems that you're presenting. And if we do a good job on that, that's what will happen. It makes our presentations more compelling, and closing just becomes easier. And of course, it sets up the next sale for any of those unsolved needs. LIMRA studies have shown that the average agent, I know this probably doesn't apply to anybody on the call today, they work far less than 40 hours on key blue chip sales activities. They don't spend enough time prospecting, and they don't spend enough time in selling interviews. Top MDRT level guys say the opposite. Here's what they do. They say generally it's 50 or 60 hours a week, but even 40 is more than the average across the nation agent is spending. And the top level guys said, when I got started in the business, I committed to a set number of selling appointments with prospects and clients every week, and it usually was 15 or more. Most of them don't do 15 anymore, but they do 10 or 12 like clockwork every week, and that's more than double what the average agent does. So their advice to all of us is, if you're going to be in the business, be full-time in the business. Work that full day. Work that full week. Be active at it. Commit to the activity on prospecting and get in front of enough people to make it happen. They also say, there aren't any overnight successes in the business, and it's a continual learning process. So an MDRT level guy would say, commit to the long haul. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And our results, our success, is the cumulative effect of all the smaller things that we look at, schedule on purpose, commit to, and execute and deliver on. And many of those key activities have a long tail. They take a longer time to yield the kind of results that we want. And it does require that full week, that full-time hard work. It does require some trial and error and a dedication to saying, okay, that's working, let's do some more of that. That's not working, let's fix it or get rid of it, and an unwillingness to give up. And there aren't any real easy answers, especially in a down economy like we have. We've got to get smarter so that we become more effective, and we've got to be more efficient so we get the most out of the time that we have available to us and make it happen. And one way that they say to do that is to sponsor client appreciation events. Richard Wildman said an existing client is worth 3 or 4 times what a new prospect is. So it's important that we say thanks. And we can do that through client appreciation events, like a lunch, like a golf event, like a dinner, or other key ideas that some others have had, a visit to an art museum with cocktails and wine and cheese, those kinds of things. But our biggest assets are our existing clients. And these client appreciation events will help us cement that relationship, build on it, and generate more client loyalty. And we can select the most valuable clients and invite them. These could be current people or people with lots of potential. And a key thing that everybody says is ask them to bring a friend, which is kind of a referral. And so we help build our business on a go-forward basis. And who better to do it with than people who already believe in our business and the service that we've provided to them and the value of it. And lastly, number 40 here, identify the dominant buying motive. Through careful fact-finding, we'll find out what makes clients tick. Let's let them and let's hear them put it into words. We ask what it is. They tell us what it is. In their own words, we repeat it back to them. If we keep our antenna up, they're going to tell us what's important to them. And we can then link our solutions to that dominant buying motive, and we can use it as part of the close. If they'll, through careful fact-finding and probing questions, they'll tell us what's on their mind, what's important to them. They're saying, this is how you close the sale. They're saying also, these are my objections. Pay attention to those. If you can answer those, you'll probably get the business. So there we are. Those are the secrets of the pros, number 21 through 40. Speak the client's language. Pursue education and industry designations. Find a mentor or multiple mentors. Be a mentor. Pay attention to their body language. Plant seeds for later sales. Dress the part, fit the market. Practice, get better at, hone your craft. Don't forget family time. Block it and make it happen. Commit to it. Don't let it be violated. Stay in touch. You owe it to them. It's the right thing to do. Remember what's in it for them. Use a last letter strategy. If you don't have the products, as a physician, you ought to heal yourself and make sure that you do. Join or start a study group. Provide solutions, not just products. Don't forget your physical well-being. Eat right, exercise, block the time, make it happen. Use a needs analysis, a formalized needs analysis. Work a full day, a full week. Be in it full time. Commit to the long haul. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Get better all the time. Sponsor client appreciation events and identify the dominant buying motive. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending. Again, financial brokerage is the home for the independent producer. We want to make sure that you take advantage of our Shared Success program. And I'd like to ask you to mark your calendars. Our next 2 scheduled financial brokerage Sales Edge webinars will be on June 6th, and that's 3 secrets to creating your own leads with Brian Lysing of Financial Brokerage. And then the following Wednesday, June 13th. CTAs and Strategic Networking with Bill Cates, who's president of Referral Coach International. If you've never heard or seen Bill Cates, this is a must attend. So invitations are going out this week. If you don't receive your invitation, please contact one of your marketers. Again, thank you all for attending. Make sure that you attend our next one. If you have a question, give us a call. One of your sales managers, we can help. Thank you.